Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. We are here and ready to go. Sadly, this week, Cameron will not be joining us. There will be no Suni this session as he's currently trying to get a few things in order. Life's a little chaotic. It happens. It's all good. Also, as a fun turn of events, this week, joining us on the top row here, we have somebody added to the bottom row. Welcome, Felicity, to the Land of Faces. It's so good to have you here.
Yes, Luca, I am playing D&D. You came at the very worst time. I love you.
Perfect. Flawless.
He almost straight up was like, right there, and I was like, any other time.
Just say hi, come on. Be a guest character.
Guest character? That'd be great. If you just walk into the pane right next to you where there's no Cameron right now.
Exactly. But yeah, hi, this is my face. Haven't seen it since the beginning of the campaign. Hello.
Since like session 7. It's been a minute. But you know what? We're back. That's awesome. Also, there's new art for Carasilla, which is wonderful art. Carasilla is a lot more serious this time around because things are getting serious. So no more Muppet Carasilla. Now we have jawline Carasilla.
Does that mean that Ajax has always been serious because he's never been a Muppet?
That's true. He never had the opportunity to be a Muppet.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's roll the intro. We're back. Let's dive into tonight's session. So, picking up. That's not the line I'm supposed to say right
You
now.
did this last week.
Let me reference my script here. As is tradition here on Roll with Advantage, I don't do the summaries. I have my players do the summaries. I had to see, that was me rechecking the script. The imaginary script that's not
exist.
here. Yeah. Ha ha ha, funny man. Okay, so
What an improv master.
Yes, and whoa. So I have my players do the summary. It gives me a good idea of what they think is important, what they picked up on, and maybe if I need to hit something extra hard on the upcoming session. So this week on summary is Mark. So Mark, whenever you're ready, feel free to take it away, my duder.
Okay. So in book 7, chapter 5 of one of the campaigns.
Can I give you a note real quick?
Sure. Fine. Yeah.
I think the voice is really funny and I'd like you to keep doing it.
What voice? My voice? Joe, I wasn't doing a voice.
No, you wait a second. No, you definitely were.
No.
Don't.
That was
a little awkward.
Everyone just let this. Yeah.
Don't you gaslight me right now because you were talking. That is not your voice. That is not.
Joe,
I was stuttering
I
a bit.
Why fully mocked her? It's really cool up here.
Wow. Gemma with the reverse card.
Man, that's crazy. Well, I apologize. I thought you were doing a voice. That's my bad.
Well, now I'm gonna think about how I sound for the rest of the evening.
No, it didn't even sound bad. It just sounded like a California surfer accent. That's what it sounded like you were doing.
Chapter 5.
That's what I heard. That's literally what I heard. Well, that's what
Carasilla.
That's how I heard you talk. Please,
guys, if anybody's here watching, just leave. Leave now. We're not playing D&D tonight.
The question is, should I do a voice? Because you said keep
Sound
doing
like Keanu Reeves.
God, what's a good impression of him? Let's see. Lots of guns. Yeah, okay. All right, Book 7, Chapter 5 of the Salamander Coast. I can't keep doing that. It's going to take too long. So, Thor's there. That's bad. Ajax on the ground. His sword made into 1,000 smaller and more awkwardly shaped swords, also on the ground. The party's trying to get away. Vondor's opening up the path back to the Underways, even though it might be dangerous in there again. Between Balder and Carasilla, though, both pulling some sick-ass moves, the party was bought enough time to escape from Thor without any further injury. They got Ajax out of there just fine. And it's also important to note that Balder managed to disguise himself throughout the fight as Morwen, which hopefully means that Thor would have never put together that Morwen had left, or more importantly, that Balder was currently with the party, which would risk the plan forming a truce that Balder has. As soon as they were back in the Underways, Cecily began questioning Balder's knowledge and his motives. She theorized that this all may have been a setup of some sort of long play. She doesn't know what. She just knows that they might be doing something to get them exactly where Odin wants them yet again. Ajax promised Cecily to keep an eye out on Balder, acknowledging her fears and reasons for all of that, but he admitted that he did not think the same way. And meanwhile, Bianca caught up with Ajax and just brought him up to speed on some of the party's history as they were hiking, because it seemed like it was all coming crashing in these past 24 hours. After making their way through a gem mine, with Vondor as their lead that was occupied by these massive constructs, they finally arrived at the majestic dwarven city of Kaladarian. They were warned that as outsiders, especially as associates of Aesir and Vanir, and even some Aesir themselves, they would not be greeted with kindness because of some of the history here. But they were welcomed in nonetheless. They promptly went and met with the very old, very well-seasoned King Borelli Old Blood, and they discussed some business and negotiations. Old Blood told them of some bad blood that happened because weapons were made for some of the Odinsons and perhaps even some of the Tyrsons that are up in Jormungandr right now, the Aesir and Vanir bloodlines. Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, was one of them, among others. They were crafted by them in their Crucible, but they quickly were used incorrectly and as tools for evil, and visitors have not been welcomed since. That was hundreds of years ago. But Bianca and King Borelli made negotiations quite quickly, found an agreement, and Borelli promised that his people would help with armor and weapons to supply the party and all of their followers up until the war was over. But once the war was over, it was King Borelli's plan to destroy their Crucible and to officially seal his city away from the surface, because he feared that the creations and weapons and armor and items that they made were too easy to be used for evil by the people of the surface. So they formed an official allegiance. They moved on to discuss different business, the business of souls. They had two with them, and Borelli told them that Issen's soul could be forged into a new, powerful item. But in the interest of Tyr's soul, he warned that once a soul was forged into an item, it could never be removed once the process was done. The party also talked about setting up teleportation magic between their city and other places. They also talked about setting it up at Laufey's base in Loshar, and in a place in the Old Kingdom near the party's armies. And in addition, they talked about the possibility of resurrecting someone with the soul singer high priest of the city later. They discussed their hard decisions to follow after the meeting. They made plans to be in Maester as soon as possible. After some discussion, the party agreed to leave the lantern containing Tyr's soul with the king for safety, hoping to not forge it into a weapon, but eventually get it back into Tyr's soulless body. And the soul for Issen is currently being used in the Crucible to forge something. Meanwhile, Bianca offered Carasilla a new position, a looser position, as the Master of Secrets, and Carasilla accepted this new position. Finally, the party all went to the tavern. Balder stayed behind, and they heard a very old bard who was singing a sad, mysterious song as they prepared to rest in the tavern with what little time they had before it was time to go to Maester.
Okie dokie. Exactly.
How was that voice?
Correct. It was perfect.
Okay.
As was the first
Are
one.
you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Whenever you
Cool.
speak, Mark,
Thank you.
it is wonderful. Okay. So in the tavern we go.
Sure.
As all of you had just finished up listening to the solemn song that the Gleeman had sung in the center of the room, you all find a spot to sit and wait for the Eidolon, for the Crucible to be ready for the forging of Ajax's new weapon and the removal of the curse from Carasilla's dagger. So, as all of you sit there, like I said, you had just seen the Dwarvish man perform, and he continues to pluck and strum away at the instrument on his lap with this massive cloak tied around his neck, hanging up, stretched towards the ceiling. So, as all of you sit down and begin to just sort of talk with each other a fair bit. Excuse me. There is a Dwarvish man who does approach your table, and he greets all of you and says, "Well, I'd just like to make your acquaintance very briefly." You can see that he has this big, bushy red beard, shaven head, and you can see that there are these like patches of green, almost like moss, in his beard, creating this very like Christmas-like color palette that he wears upon his face. And he says, "It's a great pleasure to meet all of you. I have been informed of your status by by Vondor, and I just wanted to introduce myself as the owner of the Spirits and Old Souls Tavern. They call me Latusi Barley Beard, but you can just call me Tusi. That's what my friends call me, and provided that Vondor says is true about all of you, I'd like to consider us friends."
For the introduction, Ajax.
Ajax, wonderful. The rest of you nameless, very well.
You were muted.
Yeah, Felicity.
I love the meat bottom sometimes.
Okay. At least you guys could see that I was talking. I don't remember. She said, "Nice to meet you. My name is Bianca."
Easy to forget that one. That's
Yeah.
Carousel Adolski.
And I can see on you a very similar cloak. If you find the
Yes.
time, you might find it valuable to speak with Uma.
Well, I'd love to after he's done his performance here.
Oh, Uma doesn't leave. He's always performing.
Oh.
That wasn't a
How long has he
threat.
Been here.
Longer than I've been alive.
What
What's a
wasn't
good
it?
take as a threat? Hold on, wait.
Well, now I'm curious. Why did you say it wasn't a threat? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, because I understand the way I said it made it sound like he's kept here against his will. No, he wants to be here. He I know it sounds strange, but he lives from the music. It gives him everything he needs to get through the day. It's the only substance he needs.
And you said he's been here how long?
Longer than I've been alive, so probably some 400 years now.
And what race is this guy again?
A dwarf.
Oh, okay. They live. And their span of life is normally like that long?
Nope.
The king is 800, right?
No.
Yeah, no,
I
most
thought he was-
He's an old blood.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
most dwarves live to be 200, 250 at the most in
Okay.
the
So that's
world that you're
exceptional.
used to. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we've come here for rest, and we've had quite a bit of things set before us. What is your best drink?
Hmm. Well, I will say that probably one of the things that most people like the most, but I don't know if they'll exactly be right for your palates, are soulfire shots. People say they taste the best, but the process of making them is there's no soul in the drink. It's just in order to make it, I need to channel the knowledge from the other brewmasters that have owned this tavern over the many, many generations. So it's a little strong for most, but if it's something you're interested in, I'd be more than happy to set you up with some.
I would be more than happy. However, I'm going to be heading up to the Crucible soon, and I want to be sharp.
Oh, well, if you're
it's as
heading to the
strong as you
Crucible,
say.
then you have to try some. It's tradition.
Oh no, Ajax is gonna get drunk before he goes to the Crucible.
I like
Yeah,
when
sorry.
I
Try
sat
one.
next to Ajax and she'll just slap her arm around his shoulder. Oh, if it's tradition, then I suppose we all must.
We can pace each other, Ajax. Suni and I helped each other pace one time. It mostly worked out.
Yeah, mostly. Did it? Right?
No,
Okay.
I want to try one though.
I
You
will
tell me
also
this is gonna
try
be a
it.
little thing that was made by how many people? Like 10, 12?
Yeah, at this point about, I'd say. Because let's see,
Nice.
10 or 12 generations, several thousand years of brewmaster knowledge going into it.
Yeah. Even if
I'll
I hate
try
it,
one.
I want to try the little drink you've been working on for 3,000 years.
Ah, wonderful.
It's
Hopefully you like it.
tradition, and there's been a lot going on, so let's take the edge off.
All right. Very good. I'll be right back. They take a little while, so sit tight, and I'll be back as soon as they're done.
Not to kill the mood, but I'll be right back. I gotta help with Bella real quick.
It's okay.
Be right back.
You're good.
Okay, the drinks take a while.
Yeah.
You just-
He did just say that. He will say before he goes, he says, I will say, I don't want any of you to feel pressured into this. So if you'd prefer, Vondor told me that all of you are from the mainland. We collect recipes from up there. If you'd like some type of something more moderate, like a spiced mead, I could always prepare that as well. I just figured, when in Port Lemnos.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine with it. When we're here, we're here. So we may not be here, super long. Might as well try it.
Wonderful. Well, very well. I'll be right back then. And you can see with that, he kind of heads off back into the back to prepare these drinks. And the one thing I will say is he's definitely the lightest person you've met. Not just in terms of like BMI or weight, but he is also the most floaty as a person. Everybody else seems very grounded and, like roots in the earth. Tusi seems to have his head in the clouds a bit as you see him walk off, but he'll be back in a bit with your drinks. So as all
They're
of you
stones, but he's clay.
Ooh,
Mm.
metaphor. Okay, somebody should write a poem about Tusi.
Carousella?
My
It's because I'm the bard.
Yes.
SMH.
man, I don't know what happened. This is really sad. Something happened to my desk.
Oh no.
Like the wood's chipped. That's really sad. Okay. Anyway, all I mean, it's my fault. I'm the only person that uses the desk. I just don't remember it. Anyway, so all of you are sitting down. As you're waiting for your drinks, is there anything anybody wanted to talk about? I will say there are people in here, but it seems as though these people in this city are not the kind to eavesdrop or collect information, or if somebody's having a conversation, they're going to respect that and they're not going to listen. So if there was anything you guys wanted to talk about in the meantime, before the drinks arrive, which will take about 20 minutes, you're free to do so, unless you just want to kind of mindlessly chit chat until the drinks get back.
I mean, it's not a topic of conversation, I suppose, but do we have like an estimate of when we're actually meant to be going to the Crucible? Because I don't think it was like soon, but like,
No.
do we know?
Wait for the song, right?
Yeah, you
That's
just
about
need
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just okay, ambiguous, sick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Bianca had anything in particular to bring up to everybody. I mean, she already brought up the whole resurrection thing, but we kind of put that on hold for a second. And then, yeah, just war plans, which I mean, we could keep talking about that, but I think this is more of a relaxing time. It's kind of what everyone wants, is a little break from everything. So she
Yes.
won't, bring it up.
Well, Celery definitely has a point of curiosity. She's going to be looking at. Thank you, Joe. She's going to be just looking at the long cloak gleaming dude in the middle, and just kind of say to the group, "So, how does someone not eat? Because that seems like a really great thing for me to know."
Well, I'm gonna live on the music, I suppose. Easy as that.
I mean, you can
I've
ask
never
him.
figured out. Yeah, I've never figured out how to take a bite of music.
Well, I think it is an interesting question to ask, at least.
Well, you're the bard with the gleaming thing. Have you ever felt hungry and then played a song and felt okay?
I mean, not on a one-to-one ratio, I suppose. I feel like if you're hungry and you distract yourself with anything, you stop being hungry for a period. But I don't think that hardly classes as the same kind of thing that, well, he's managed to get going for himself.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not just distraction. There's got to be something else.
Then again, with a dulcimer, I'm sure you can eat and drink as you go. It's not like it occupies the mouth anyways.
Oh, yeah. What if our bartender was just being metaphorical? That'd be boring. I'm gonna go ask him. She'll just leave the table and just find the guy.
Yeah, very easy to find. Just follow the colorful cloak down, and eventually it funnels down into the dwarvish man that it's attached to. You can see him plucking and strumming away at the dulcimer on his lap. As you approach, you can see that the tone does grow quieter, respectful of you approaching. And he just sort of looks up at you, and you can see he is so incredibly old and wizened. There is just wrinkles and wrinkles and wrinkles for days. Whereas he looks up at you, his eyelids like barely open as he's just sort of staring into you. And I say into you very specifically, like it's his gaze goes past the surface. And you can see that when he looks at you, he's looking at something deeper, not just your face, but something inside of you. It's a little unsettling, especially for Cecily.
Yeah. Vulnerable off the top. She don't like that. But she'll just kind of arms folded, just. So, What's your story?
Well, my story is the same as many bards and gleemen of many, many, many years. I traveled the world, collecting patches for my cloak, and now I am too old to walk with the cloak behind me. So I stay here. I sing songs to the souls that have long gone, so they may be remembered, so they may have peace, so they may rest.
Our server mentioned you've just been here a long time. Do they feed you at all?
Oh, I do not need food anymore. I've outgrown it.
That happens?
Not for everyone. Not everyone is as lucky as me.
Are you part of the old blood? Or is it something else?
No, no old blood. No nothing. I play my music. I listen to the melodies. I feel the power it holds. It keeps me alive. The power of that magic. The power of my music.
She kind of, the initial curiosity satisfied, she sobers up a little bit in her approach. She'll take another step closer to the guy. I'm old blood, if you can't tell. And meeting the king made me start thinking about something kind of weird. Which is that if I somehow make it out of this, I might end up being very old. What's it like?
Oh. Well, the first long while isn't that bad. Provided you aren't the only one growing old at the same rate. It's rather pleasant. You can take your time. Stop and smell the roses, as it were. You can breathe without feeling regret for doing so. But then the pain starts. You realized, while you could stop, while you could breathe, others in your life could not. Others in your life were not given such a gift. Others in your life are gone too soon. And so you sing their song. You share their memory. You let the world know how much you loved them. But it's not the same. Growing to be old much older than those around you. It's a blessing and a curse. Just don't forget. You'll have plenty of time to breathe and to rest after the rest of them are gone.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of songs I could sing. Of course, I can't hold a tune for shit, so that's gonna be a problem.
Don't worry about that. Music doesn't need to be. Oh, how most people conceive of as pretty. Music just needs to make you feel something. And if you sing a string of notes, and it reminds you of someone you love, then I think that's very beautiful. Even if the notes are not in the same key.
Is there a number of years you think I can expect? Because I wasn't even planning on making it to 16. And now it's like I've already outlived a dozen people. I don't know how much more of it I want to do.
It is hard to tell. You see, at a certain point you lose count. But I have been around for a long time. And I remember when the Aesir and the Vanir, Asri and Vanri, first began their conflict. It seems just like yesterday. I remember the crowning the Crow Lord of Theodoleth when he was but a young man. He lived for, I suppose, is still alive. Aside from, well, I'm sure you've heard the story, but he's lived for probably 12 to 1300 years now. You, however, are a descendant, and each descendants, the power diminishes a bit. So maybe 400 to 600 years. Maybe, of course. I am no expert. I am but a musician, after all, and a storyteller. You could die tomorrow. Who knows?
Thank you for talking to me.
Of course. It was my pleasure. Cecily of the Old Blood. Tierson, right?
I'd ask how you knew, but seems like you know a lot.
Well, you said your first name over there, and then you said you were an Aesir, and the gold eyes gave it away.
Or it was that simple, yeah.
Yes. Well, some things in life are just that simple.
She'll nod to him and go back and reconvene with everybody, and when she does, she'll mention nothing of the emotionally intense conversation they had, and just go, "Yeah, he doesn't eat. Doesn't eat anything."
Did he say like how he does that? Does he want to eat?
I don't think so. I don't think he wants anything but just to keep singing.
Hmm.
I don't know how to explain it, but if you just like looked at this guy up close like I just did, you totally believe that he hasn't needed food or water for 300 years. He's like a statue that breathes.
I believe you. I mean, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff, so honestly, this really isn't too surprising.
No, just wanted to check because I, on the other hand, need food soon, now, and she'll just keep digging into
Agreed.
whatever's there and whatever's coming.
And
I will say
eventually,
while Cecily, oh.
no,
I
please
was
go
gonna say
ahead.
while Cecily was doing that, Ajax was like not really making conversation. He's like kind of listening. He's just like looking around, but like also his ears twitching towards like the door, like just keeping an ear out. That's all.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna miss it, Ajax.
What? Sorry. I'm just a little excited.
I understand, but don't worry, we're not gonna miss it.
All right.
All right. Then eventually, Tusi, he does return. He comes out of the back room, holding in his hands what looks to be a tray of, definitely not like 4-ounce like shot glasses. They're like small cups. And you can see that they are, they seem to be made of a metal, this sort of blackened, black enameled steel. And brings them out, and you can see that there is definitely some type of liquid in it, but the thing that really draws your attention is there is this like ghastly blue flame that's coming off of the top of them as he sort of sets them down on the table in front of each one of you. He says, "Now, like I said, just remember, if you don't like it, I won't be offended, I promise. It's just you're spitting in the face of 12 generations of brewmasters, so just keep that in mind."
Yep. All right. Good.
Noted.
Sure, will be brilliant.
Ajax is gonna whisper, "Just keep it to yourself."
All right.
How is
Well.
it, Joe? Party
Take
sip.
it. Cheers. Down the hatch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for one, it's hot.
Together.
Yeah.
Ow.
And the other thing is, it is not good. It is absolutely horrendous. It's probably closer to gasoline than it is to anything else. It is
Everclear.
yeah, it is absolutely horrendous, and it is the worst thing you've ever tasted.
Do we have to make constitution checks, or are we able to keep it down?
No, if you're gonna say anything to him, I'll need a deception check. But if you're just gonna keep
No.
it to yourself, then yeah, you nothing. You can down it. It's not poisonous. It's just really bad.
Cecily's just gonna set the cup down and just. So for you guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strong is that?
Not necessarily the strongest thing. I'd probably give it a 7. Oh, did you like it?
Been baited.
I think I might sit more around a 2 or a 3 normally, but this was worth the try.
Make a deception check, Cecily.
Hey, that wasn't a lie.
You can make a persuasion check if you want. Either or.
It was well worded.
It was well worded.
Well, I'm 4 points better at lying than persuading, so.
Do it. Come on.
That was a 25.
Wow. What about the rest of you? Moves on immediately.
Certainly different from a lot of things I've personally tried, but, well, can't be tradition, I suppose.
But did you like
He's
it?
one of them.
An acquired taste. But perhaps one I might acquire.
What about you, lion?
Why do you say it like that?
The lion.
I've had many drinks in my years, and this is one of the most unique things I've ever had the experience of trying.
Uh-huh. He looks to you, Bianca. What about you, huh?
I personally very much enjoyed the experience.
I'm gonna need you to make a check.
I have nothing else to say.
Why not all of us?
What
We
is
didn't
that,
say
a
it was
deception?
bad.
Yeah, deception.
I said it was a good experience.
I know none of us said it was bad.
14.
You know
I
the...
have plus 0, so 14.
Just picturing the barf emoji on Bianca's face. It was great.
Underneath the table, just texting the group, just like
Yeah, like,
"This is-
y'all help me out here.
Hey man, I tried.
Okay. Can I give all of you some advice?
Sure.
Okay.
Will it be this strong?
You, pointing to you, Cecily, are a scary good liar, okay? Want you to know that right now. The rest of you, you gotta be more honest, especially around my people, okay? If you don't like something, just say it. That is not a drink that brewmasters have been making for thousands of years. I just threw some stuff in a cup and lit it on fire, okay?
Holy shit, you're kidding me.
No, I wanted to see how you'd react because people always told me that you guys from the upland, you would lie about everything, and I thought I'd put it to the test.
I mean, personally,
You were
I was
being
just trying to be
polite.
polite.
I get it, but also, be honest. It's okay. I hold no ill will. I see it as you trying to be the proper political courtesans that you're supposed to be, and being nice and polite and kind. But next time. So how about I go get you the real shots, and this time you tell me if you like them or not.
Yo, I've only been lying my whole life because I have to, or I get the shit kicked out of me. You're telling me I can just say what I want down here?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right. Bring me something stronger.
Joe,
All
I
right.
want to react.
Yeah.
I know it's probably this is probably stretch, but is he lying about giving us a fake drink?
Make an insight check.
5D chess.
Like, is he lying to us about lying?
Make an insight check. Go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
get this trashed.
Oh no, that's not good, guys. Oh, I have a +6 to insight. 8.
Hell yeah. Get him.
Oh, that was great.
No, it seems like he's being honest, as far as you can tell.
As far as you can tell.
Be honest.
All right.
Will we like the actual drink?
Maybe. And he walks away.
No, I think we're stuck in this now.
I like this. I'm having a good time. We got no eat guy. We got tell the truth guy. Old king guy was cool too.
Did we? Never mind.
Wait.
What?
What? Wait,
No,
no, were you going to
don't
say,
worry.
did we meet an old king guy? Listen, I know I've been kind of out of it the past several hours, but even
Where
I
did you
remembered
come
that.
from? I thought you were
I've
gone.
been here the whole time. I am
He just pops out from behind.
I'm a dragon man that is wearing green and white. I'm not hard to miss.
Oh, it's Suni.
I have lightsabers.
I didn't
John.
connect that it was Suni. I'm so dumb.
Well, maybe Ajax's strength was a bit stronger than the rest of
I
ours.
This was really
Yeah.
strong.
Considering his
Nick
description,
continues
could
to
have just
sip.
been poison or dishwater. Not that he tried to poison us, just that he threw a bunch of shit in a cup.
I still can't believe you didn't recognize
Ajax
me.
is just listening. First of all, that wasn't in character, so don't make that canon, okay?
It's too late. It's been
Ajax
canonized.
secretly hates Suni.
A few moments later, a lot less time later, you can see Tusi. He comes back out. This time he comes out with proper sized, like smaller glasses that have this very controlled flame that's not sitting on top of, but is floating above. It almost looks like a little spirit floating above a lake.
Oh, cute.
And he sets them down in front of each one of you and he says, okay. Now, I'm going to let you know that when you try this one, you might experience something, and that's okay. This is your first time, and people react differently for their first time. So just, breathe, okay? You're going to do great.
Shrooms?
Oh my god, are you gonna teach us how to swim? Why is this so intense?
Yeah, is it there's something that, we should be concerned about here?
No, well, don't be concerned about anything. Listen, I already had the opportunity to
No,
give you
that's just
poison.
me asking,
And I didn't, and I'm responding. Listen, I could have given you poison before and you wouldn't have known it. And look at the little flame. I put a lot of effort into those.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
All right.
Alright, cheers we go.
As you slam it back, there's no taste. There's no sensory. There is a memory that hits you as you drink it. In varying degrees, whether it be you in a forge slamming hammer on steel, or whether it be you cutting down a tree, or you repairing one of the arcane harvesters, there are just this flash of a memory that you get that is so incredibly vivid. The smells, the senses, the feels are all there. There is some flash into the past that you see from the perspective of one of the many dwarves of this city. And in a moment, the flash happens and is over. As all of you look up at each other, you can see a flash of blue in your eyes that eventually fades away. As you look down, there's no more flame in the cup, and the drink is empty. Well?
Certainly better than the last, that's for sure.
See, that's honesty right there.
Dessert. I know you said there wasn't an actual soul, but it felt like there was an actual soul in the drink.
Yeah, I know it feels that way, but there's not. I promise you. That would be, I think that would make you a lich or something. It would make you some type of very evil creature to eat souls. You're not eating a soul. The Eidolon, which is very close to here, there is a lot of magic and energy that focuses there. The only reason why it's so powerful is because of how many souls exist that weren't crafted into weapons or armor. So their souls, they rest there. They help the Forge Master, Dirge. They help him in whatever creation he needs to make. So whenever you make something in the Eidolon, you're not hitting it with the force of one smith with a hammer. You're hitting it with hundreds of thousands of hammers all at once in harmony. It's really cool. And so some of the dwarves, when the forge isn't in use in the current moment, you can get a glimpse into their lives and what they were doing. It's a way for dwarves who were unable to use their souls in some type of tool or weapon or armor. It's a way for some of them to connect with their ancestors still. It's not intoxicating at all. It's just a way to remember the ancestors and the people that are no longer with us. You know, something like that. So you're not eating souls, I promise.
Well, that's beautiful, and I honestly greatly enjoyed that. Thank you.
Of course. Well, I will be back with some spiced meat and a little bit more bread. Man, you really tore through that. Whew, okay.
Cecily will subconsciously wipe crumbs off her chin.
Okay. So Tusi, he leaves, and he comes back very shortly with a couple of cups of a spiced mead, and some more bread, and like a little kind of mini like charcuterie board equivalent, where there's just some little meats and cheeses, just some stuff to tide you over. Not a meal, just some little baby stuff.
Oh, nice. Bread builders.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cecily's gonna start making combos like a fucking alchemist.
I think we haven't really eaten because like we've been traveling all day and then we were attacked and then we were here. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Very
Ajax
hungry.
is also chowing down. He's a big dude, and he
Mhm.
hasn't eaten since we haven't eaten a proper meal since before Periton,
Yeah.
because after that was just rations. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
so Ajax is mead, bread, combos.
Oh yeah. Cecily will be your combo partner.
Thank
She'll be like, you gotta try this and this, and like assemble.
Ooh, this
All
one's
right.
really good.
Okay. So with that, all of you snack and you eat and you chit chat. Is there anything else anybody wanted to talk about before the Eidolon's song is sung?
yeah, I mean, Carousel will want to chat up the old bard guy because yeah, of course.
Okay.
So yeah, should do that after getting some snacks, obviously. But yeah, she'll eventually make her way down.
Yeah, of course. So after a little bit of snacking, a little bit of chit chatting, Carousel does excuse herself from the table to go down and talk to Uma. So Carousel, as you make your way down, you can see, like I said, that sort of tunnel of color that goes down towards Uma Farsong as he's plucking and strumming away at his small dulcimer, playing music and filling the tavern with life to a degree. And as
Is he
you
still only singing sad songs even?
Yeah, he hasn't sung much. It seems like he doesn't do that very often. He sung one more song since you guys have come in, and it was also a sad song.
Right, but the other music he's been playing has all been like sadder toned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah, she'll go up to him. Feels rude to interrupt, but hey, he doesn't stop, I guess. And yeah, introduce herself. So, it's an honor to meet another Gleeman, I suppose. Kasolidowski.
Karasilidolski, it is a great honor to meet you.
And he'll continue to pluck away with one hand, but he will reach up his others to shake yours.
Yeah, she definitely will shake.
And you can, when you touch his hand, it is hardened leather, like almost stone. The roughness and calloused nature of his hands as he goes back down and continues plucking away at his melody.
Tell us how
So,
long you've been here.
here, as in sitting in this seat, or here as in...
He sort of gestures with one hand, like, in general.
Also the seat.
Hmm.
I mean, with a cloak like that, I'm sure you've, well, been anywhere and everywhere beforehand. Surely it takes time to travel, so curious how long you've just been, well, just in a seat.
Yes, in this seat, as I was telling your young friend over there, Cecily, You lose count after a while, but I believe anywhere between 400 and 500 years I've been in this seat.
And you've never wanted to leave, to go out again?
Wanted, maybe. The world is a dangerous place, as I'm sure you know. My music can feed me. It can keep me alive. It can't protect me anymore, though.
See. Do you miss it, though?
And you can see the music slows down incredibly, where for a moment you're afraid that he almost stopped playing, and everybody kind of looks over as the music, they think it stops, and he picks it back up again.
I do miss it. I miss it quite a lot. But, as I see it, while I might not be able to see the world anymore, the world can still come and see me. We have an Aesir, a Dragonborn, a Leonin, a Tiefling who, if I'm correct, bears the sigil mark of House Damaris. And a Gleeman. A Gleeman who is missing one very important patch on her cloak.
I think... okay, there's a couple things there. Because this place is getting sealed off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine, just as he was saying all that, it's kind of that, like, concerned expression, because soon the world won't be able to actually come down here. But then, as soon as he mentions missing a patch, her head will just cock, just expecting him to move. Go on.
Tell me, how long have you had the cloak?
Honestly, a bit of a complicated question, but not too long, I must admit. Wasn't mine to begin with. Used to be owned by an Aaron Marilyn. You know the name?
Aaron Marilyn. Too young for me to know, but I'm sure a great performer. And tell me, young Carasilla, what does the cloak mean to you?
Well, suppose there's still the general meaning of it. It still matters to me, that of being a performer. All that comes with it. But think on a more personal note. Used to wear a different sort of cloak. White one.
Huh?
And, well, find this one services me in ways better than the other. People smile when they see it. Recognize it for something good. Makes it a lot easier to, I suppose, help people when sometimes all they need is the vision.
Then you understand it well. Very good. One more question, if you don't mind.
Of course.
I know what the cloak means to you, but the cloak is but an item. It's something that you carry on your back. Performing. Why? Why do you sing your songs, drone your gurdy, or tell your stories?
They deserve to be heard. Never been one to compose my own. All of them borrowed and shared. All of them inherently meaning something to its original writer, its original performer. But I think there are also so many that are able to connect, to mean something new, different to other people, should they hear it. And I think often they can be something that people can end up holding dearly. It seems a shame that some story, some song that would mean so much connects so deeply to a person that they may go their life never knowing it. And so, if I can perhaps be the one to deliver that to someone else, that'd mean everything to me.
Well, I quite like that answer. You're very worthy of the cloak, Carasilla. And I think you are very worthy of one of two gleemen to wear this patch upon your cloak.
And you can see he continues to strum and pluck with one hand and reaches behind him onto his own cloak, and you can see him sort of lightly tug and then tear a patch off. And you can see this patch is not like cloth like a lot of the rest of them are. It's a heavier material. And it has this sort of like dull blue color to it. This like magical material.
I graciously give to you a patch to signify your journey to the city of Kal Ladarian. One of two, you and me.
Well, it'd certainly be my honor to have it then.
Yes. Well, as soon as you sew it onto your cloak, just know that when I die, you have to take my place now. Congratulations. I'm joking.
I would hope so, in all honesty.
Oh, yes. Honestly, the job's not too bad. Better than most I've had as a bard. It's just my rump hurts quite a bit from sitting for so long.
Surely you can stand, though. I've seen people stand and play those things.
Oh. I
Pardon the
probably
knees,
can.
perhaps?
As knees feel a bit like a gelatinous cube nowadays. I may stand, but I'm afraid I don't know if I'll be able to get back up after falling down.
I see. But the music sustains you, does it not?
It does. It does.
And forgive me for the question, but do you Do you think you'll always stay here then? I understand you consider this your retirement, but
Hmm.
will you always be in this spot?
When they stop singing the song of the Crucible, then I will rest. But until then, I will perform.
She'll just give a nod. Must be a beautiful thing to have as background then.
And he looks up at you with very, very bittersweet eyes.
It is the most beautiful and tragic thing I've ever seen.
Well, most of the beautiful things in this world has some kind of tragedy to them, though.
Very true.
Ghosts increasing in one aspect will raise the other.
Very true.
And you can see he has a very, very longing and sad look on his face, where you can see him remembering something. And he sort of fades out of the conversation and continues back to his sort of, I don't want to say mindless, because there's still care and love to it, but it is tired. Regardless of how much care and love is there, he's tired.
Yeah, I think there's a sadness that I guess would come to her just seeing that. Notice that a lot of your music seems to have that kind of beautiful tragedy to it too.
After you've seen what I've seen, it's hard to sing about anything else.
Someone that must have collected so many stories, so many songs. Surely there's many of another tone that you could.
Aye, there are many. But are there any that I want to sing? No. I still mourn the losses. And I never will stop. Or if I do, I fear they will be forgotten.
Can't forget about the life though.
If only their
You don't
life
have to be.
was happier.
Perhaps. I think good music at least can contribute to that though.
See, he nods, but continues playing the same sad music.
Mm. Yeah. It does make her a little sad. But she'll gladly leave him, I suppose. Give it another
Okay.
nod of thanks.
Yeah. So, all of you continue eating and snacking, you can see Carasilla return from her conversation with the bard.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
she'd
say
still
there
be-
was. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, she'd return and she'd still be holding on to that blue patch as well. Just gonna keep it in her hands. Seems rude to shove it in her pocket, you know.
I was gonna say before, like while Carasilla was talking to
Mhm.
the bard, Ajax is going to, well, Cecily continues to make him sandwiches, and he continues to eat sandwiches from our chat.
Yep.
He will kind of wipe his mouth and look over to Bianca and say, "Are you sure about Issen's soul being used to forge a weapon for me?"
I mean, are you unsure about it? Does that make you uncomfortable?
No, I just think you have more of a claim to it. I mean, it's a entity that, well, was a big part of your life. I'm honored if you would allow that. I just want to make sure.
The most important thing is that this soul is just unable to escape from wherever it is put. I don't know. I just thought you're in need of a sword and you need a good one. Would it be too much for, I don't know. It feels like too much. I already have so much responsibility and power, and then to have a sword like that or a weapon like that feels very imbalanced. So,
I understand. I just want to make sure it wasn't a in the moment decision.
no.
Because they might make a weapon that you won't be able to use, and if you actually want to use it at some point, it might be too big.
I'd be honored for you to protect my kingdom with the soul that used to own mine. I don't need it. And in a way, having it not such a part of me anymore feels right. I'm letting go.
Okay. Well, thank you. I do appreciate it.
Thank you. And it better be a really cool sword. You deserve it. Or whatever the weapon is,
Yes,
I guess.
whatever it is. Apparently, I will be helping to make it. I don't know how to smith.
What's good is it sounds like you won't be doing most of the work. All the past souls seem like they're very involved. So I'm sure you're fine.
Yes, it did sound that way.
Well,
Right.
I don't have much smart to say about this, but I do think you should have a sandwich. Okay, at least one.
I had a bite.
They're delicious.
It was very
Yeah, okay.
good.
You'd make me eat if I was moping around and said I didn't have an appetite.
Well, yeah,
So you
but
gotta
you're
eat.
growing.
You're maintaining.
I'm an adult. I can make my own choices.
Everyone's got to eat. Okay, you're a queen. Food makes you smart, gives you energy, helps you think. That's why I'm so dumb. You know, it's malnourishment. You don't want that to happen.
You're not dumb,
Just saying.
Cecily. I will keep working on this sandwich, I promise.
All right, well, I'll keep my eye on it.
Oh,
She will
Hi.
take a bite.
hi, Carasilla.
Yeah, hi. How'd it go?
It's well, I suppose. Sad though,
You,
especially knowing what's going to happen to this place.
You have a patch there.
Yes,
You
one of
do.
two apparently.
Who has the other one?
Well, he does.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Well, that's a
Suppose so,
great
yes.
honor.
Oh, absolutely.
What is it for?
Suppose it's part of the significance of the cloak. Remnants of this place, of being here. Don't believe it
So-
does anything.
Well, it does something. Less people who know what it means know that you've been somewhere Aaron Maryland has not.
Well, I wouldn't be
True.
surprised if most people would just believe that it's one of the patches that he added.
Yeah, well, but if you get another couple, it'll finally be your own, you know?
Suppose in a way, yes.
I don't know. I think there's probably some sort of significance to it. I mean, you Gleeman can do some pretty crazy stuff like living so long and not needing to eat. And you
Oh,
got
no
that
offense
magic
if that
from
is
him.
what that patch does. I don't think I'm going to use that part of it.
No, it probably doesn't. But I guess maybe it can help. I don't know. Is it a magical item? Are you attuned to it?
Well, to the cloak itself, yes.
Well, then I'm sure it's something.
I think sometimes
Gleeman
there's just enough
patch,
power
you know?
and memory. I'm not going to
Yeah.
ask it to do anything, that's for sure.
Well,
Yeah, I guess maybe not. Yeah, maybe more poetically it does something, but I'm sure it has something to it.
That's what I'm thinking. You have noticed some magic items are like math, like this does fire, and then some magic items are like art. I think you have a art item. Did that make
Well,
any sense?
No, that worked. That
I-
was an analogy. It was really good.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Oh, cool.
I was going to
Thanks,
posit
Jimmy.
that maths could also be art, but I feel like that is also
Nah,
completely
nah,
taking that in the
Nah,
wrong
it's
direction
bullshit.
for that.
absolutely
getting out of the
not true.
Trust me, I'm not a fan either, but, you know,
I'll
getting out
believe
of
it
my
when I
realm
see
of
it.
expertise.
numbers. People find beauty in them, I suppose.
Who?
I will say
Name
that
a person. Ajax, not now. Name a person.
Many a mathematician, I'm sure.
Many?
Statisticians?
Is that their name? Many?
I think math has some beauty to it, Suni.
Yeah,
that's
Bianca.
useless.
This one.
Okay, so
mean-
you know how people say I'm a sorcerer? That's because my magic came from a thing, like a bloodline or a weird freak accident. In my case, kind of both. Well, there's some people
Don't say
that
it.
they call wizards,
Okay.
and those people like math so much that it turns into magic. Which I think that's pretty much what happens.
Wait, is that how their magic works?
I
No,
think so.
no.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind.
I mean, some spells maybe.
Suni, are you okay?
Suni.
That's just so gross.
Cat's back.
All right, no more math talk,
I'm
and no
with
more
you, Suni.
sandwiches for you too, Suni.
Oh. It's enough of that.
I feel like we should be able to enjoy the food that we've got here. Especially knowing that what we're going into might find ourselves in a similar situation to Periton. So I personally think that Sunu should have as many sandwiches as he wishes.
I just
Yeah.
thought I was gonna throw them up.
This is why
What's the point of eating
Caristilla
something if
is my new best friend.
Oh, an upgrade.
Yeah, and you know what,
was I
Caristilla?
your
When you were
best friend in the
gone,
first place?
And you didn't even know?
I guess I didn't. Suni, Full of surprises. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go on a walk. Let me know when you hear the song, and she will get up and
Well,
leave.
don't go too far.
You can come with
Suni.
me.
That's
Wham!
okay.
Oh my God, is choking?
Yeah, that was in character. That was I'm good.
Yeah,
You see how he's eating those sandwiches? He's throwing them back.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
Suni, I know they set you up, but I'm your best friend, so fuck you.
Well, like, Cecily, I know that. I just had to say that to them.
Okay, alright. You don't have
We
to.
can hear you.
Telling me that we're not best friends, Suni.
No,
Deeply offended.
we totally are.
Mhm.
Just
Okay.
so
Okay,
is
if I'm not your best friend, we just
Se-
met.
what? That's
If
okay.
I am. That's. I'm not going to force you.
Suni, holy shit. Just. Suni, chill.
Suni,
Suni.
did that drink fuck you up?
I don't know, man.
What did you see?
I've lived so many lives, and being one more is really throwing me
Am I
off,
still a
man.
dwarf, dude?
Oh my God.
Cecily is going to make him a. I don't know.
At some point, this
Beer,
conversation.
cheese, and venison sandwich. Probably not venison. There's probably not deer down here. So.
Cave
Chicken.
deer.
It's a little funky. They glow blue, have like 3 eyes.
Yeah,
Aw.
what kind of meat are we eating? I feel like that's an Is it like
Cave deer.
ground cows, like in Gregor the
Human.
Overlander?
No, Two-Seat hasn't said anything specifically because nobody asked, and he thought it would probably be better to not say anything. It's mostly like
Spider.
thick bug meat,
Hell yeah!
but seasoned in a way or prepared in a way where it kind of looks like the bugs from Lion King, where during Hakuna Matata,
hell
where you're
yeah. Pull up
like,
those bitches up. Let's go.
oh,
My
No, Lion King didn't
my
make
my
them
my
more
head
edible.
canon is that Cecily has just been assuming that they're land meats and hasn't thought about it yet. And she's gonna think about it well after the meal is concluded. But right now she's like, ooh, pork.
Yummy.
Here
we go.
I know it's some point during this conversation, Ajax had something wise to say, and we're completely past that now. So Ajax is gonna go back
Aw.
to listening for the song. Wait, did Bianca leave?
She did. She got up and walked away as soon as Suni was done choking. She was like, "I'm over this shit."
Okay, he's alive. I'm out of here. God, look at them bugs.
They're gross.
Oh, man.
What's wrong with
Those
you?
bugs.
Makes a man question some things. Okay.
Y'all
Okay.
haven't eaten bugs. You haven't lived.
Yeah, Gemma's from Australia.
I have bugs all the time.
Hold on. I'm one to talk, but Gemma, were you doing a voice just now? Was that?
That's what it sound like now.
Y'all ain't
That's
have
just
the
my
voice. Y'all
Gemma-
ain't lived till you've eaten a
It's all been a
crayfish
bin till
caterpillar
this
wrap.
moment. This is my true ex.
Can your next D&D character, Gemma? Can they be that?
Just be Jesse from Toy Story.
Man.
Anyway,
Kill
Yeah.
Twig or Carousel. I'm good with either, but then we can make
There's a
it go.
snake in
We
my.
can talk about this
boots.
off session though. It's fine.
that's okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it post session.
Stars wishes.
Wishes.
Yeah.
Kill off Carousella so I can play cowboy.
I wanna be a cowboy, babe.
No, we don't support that, man.
Okay. So
I
Kilton
loved
and
the
Kilton and
Wild
Kilton.
Waste. I loved the Wild Waste one shot y'all did, where it was like Gemma, River, and Jamie.
Yeah, man. I'll bring this Lily back. That'd be great. Let's
oh, that's
do it.
right. She is
I'm down.
alive technically. Okay. All right.
Where's this
We should do a
song
one
at?
shot where we all do Australian accents just to bring it full circle.
Oh yeah.
Jar, jar, jar.
That's gonna be my character's name because I don't know what else I can do an Australian accent with.
So
Oh.
you're a
It's
Kenku
like
that
Groot.
can only say.
My jar jar jar.
I'd fucking even DM it to make it happen. I'd love to see it.
He's just like Groot, except that's his only everything he says.
I'm gonna play as Bluey, the character.
Oh, wait, can I play as
I'm gonna
Bandit?
be-
All right, can we get back on track?
Let me be
here?
Mark's dad.
What?
Yeah,
You
because
want to
Here's the
play
adoption
as?
form.
Oh, I get. Okay.
'Cause I said Bandit.
I forgot the dad's name was Bandit. I thought you wanted to play as Kevin A. Judge.
Everyone's favorite Australian.
I'll have to work on my Kevin Judge impression.
Just
Say,
click away at this point.
Say Blue Jays are the bandits of the bird world. That's one of his most known quotes.
We're hearing that Crucible music anymore.
Man, I can't. I need to ask me later. I can't do it right now. It's too ridiculous right now. Okay. Bianca walked away.
Hey,
Alright.
see you later.
Cecily is gonna lean into the table and just say, "Hey, she's it's probably not a big deal, but she's like not eating much. Should we be like doing something about that? Or
We
is
can
that-
bring it with us.
Let's just make her like a snack kit."
Wait, was
Yeah.
she
You know.
eating, or was she just not eating the sandwiches?
She was nibbling.
Nibbling. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Ajax. Nibbling.
Good word.
It's a good word. You know, good.
Well, geez, just marry each other already. God.
Don't do it. No.
Whoa.
Wait, no, I'm a sympathy. I'm a sympathy puker, Cecily.
But I will say,
Everything.
I will say that I think sometimes when your mind and soul are so full of something, it doesn't leave much room for the stomach. I think there's a lot of things that are weighing on Bianca's mind as a present. And so
You know,
I
I
would
get
be
it.
surprised.
I think because I get it, I'm upset. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think we should make her a snack kit
Yeah. I agree.
so she's,
Let's do that.
you know, just in case appetite, you know, because sometimes the
trust me.
appetite comes back all at once.
And trust me, at a certain point, she'll get hungry enough to eat.
Yeah.
Do we logistical question?
Mhm.
I understand that was a big word. Just move past it. Do we just put it in our pockets?
No, we'll put it in
I don't have pocket.
I have a lot of pockets. Caracella's got a lot of pockets, but I don't want to claim her pockets. We can use mine. I keep bread in these two,
Wait,
so
you do?
we can move. Yeah, all the time. So we can move over some of it to the left pocket to make room.
Okay.
Let's not put like meat in there though. That's gonna be bad.
It's just Cecily's Napoleon Dynamite. Just keeping tater tots.
Yeah, no, she has bread pockets. It's a canon detail from before you joined, I think. She just has them.
She's just going around to people like, "You want some tots?"
Bold of you to think she shares it.
Oh yeah, she rarely.
Full stale anyways, you don't want it.
Yeah. It's pretty
Yeah,
much croutons.
It's mostly like it's like ends. To like snap and just like eat in one bite.
We could ask the owner for do bags exist? Yeah, they exist. A bag.
Yeah, yeah. I think the concept of a bag has happened at this point. in
Wait, we
history.
can make like a little fruit basket for her. You know how like in like really fancy like places they'll have a little fruit basket.
Like when you go to like a hotel.
How far
you know?
back in time are we? Are bags not invented yet?
I think bags exist. I don't know about fruit baskets. Well, probably.
baskets
just
have
not
to
the
Fruit
modern.
exist.
basket since the beginning of time, mate. The first thing that was invented was actually before the
God
wheel.
said, "Let there be light and basket weaving."
Yep.
Just baskets. It rained baskets on the second day.
God has his good priorities, you know? Baskets was the second one.
Tusi brings
Well-
out a wicker basket and
Thank
a
you.
very nice cloth napkin for you to wrap some things in.
What if
Oh
we
my
make a
god, we're
picnic?
gonna have a fucking picnic. God damn it. Gemma and her fucking picnic.
Tusi also says picnics are illegal in Galadarian.
Well, I guess it's time to become a criminal. It's not like it's new to this group anyways.
You just got a patch.
All right.
Okay,
I think
Bianca,
even
you walk away.
Cecily's a little done. I think even Cecily can't. This is the line. She's gonna make the basket and leave.
Bianca, where do you go?
She is
Mike.
walking. I don't know, maybe just around, seeing the sights, looking at the waterfall, you know.
Nice.
The rocks.
Yeah, lots of rocks to see, so.
There are lots of rocks to see, yeah.
Well, not bad.
As-
Do we need to take a reset? Do we need to? Do we need to take like?
Yeah, Joe was
A
about to say
break?
something.
And then I don't. What did you say, Gemma? No, he's going. He's going
melting.
into combat mode.
It's like Apocalypse
say?
Now. Man. Well,
Okay, so Bianca, as you're
Yeah.
out and about in the city of Galadarian. All right, I'm bringing it back down.
I got on my window. It's hot as hell in this room now. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
As you walk throughout the streets of Galadarian, you can see that there is, like I said, that dull blue hue that emanates over the entire city from the Eidolon's Crucible. And walking about the city, you can see that there's a very similar vibe to. I hate to pull up the similarity, but kind of like in the beginning of Road to El Dorado when Miguel and Tulio first arrive in El Dorado, where most of the people, they're not necessarily afraid of you like they were in El Dorado, but you can see that they're like, they gesture like either a wave or a bow from like 25 feet away, and then they'll go back inside their house, so they'll just kind of avoid you. You are an outsider after all. And so most of the people act that way. There are some that are more friendly, but for the most part, people are kind of giving you space. Considering the last visitors that they would have had were Thor,
Yeah.
you can kind of figure out why. However,
Yeah.
Bianca, as you're walking about the streets and you make your way back towards the tavern, you do begin to hear this emanation of music and loud vocalization coming from spot number 1 at the very top of the map. And you can see that the blue light that had been emanating over the city, it begins to breathe, as if something behind that wall, within that well of souls, has come alive, as there is this pulsing in and out, as it changes the entire city from night to day, with that blue emanation fading to almost but a whisper, and then eventually growing as if it were yelling. And you can see, with every small pulse of bright to dark, you can see several forms begin to make their way up to the top of that anvil. You can see one dwarvish man in particular wielding a massive hammer in his hand, and you assume that that must be the Forge Master. As you get right up to the tavern, the rest of you hear the music and step outside. You can see Bianca standing there, and Ajax, as you look up, Carasilla, you as well. You know where the two of you need to go for your weapon needs, as the Forge Master waits there for you. So as all of you begin to make your way up towards the Eidolon's Crucible, that is where we're going to go ahead and take our break, and we will be back in a short duration to see what happens here. So I'll go ahead and stop that, and I will play... Which one? Sure, I'll play this music just in the transition. It's from Red Dead, but... All right, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back.
Nice.
These scars long have yearned for your tender caress, to bind our fortunes. Damn what the stars own. Rend my heart open, then your love profess. A winding, weaving fate to which we both atone. You flee, my dream come the morning. Your scent, berries tart, lilac sweet. To dream of raven locks and twisted, stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep. The wolf I will follow into the storm, to find your heart, its passion displaced by our ever-growing, hardening into stone. Amidst the cold, to hold you in a heated embrace. You flee, my dream come the morning. Your scent, berries tart, lilac sweet. To dream of raven locks and twisted, stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep. I know not if fate would have us live as one, or if by love's blind chance we've been bound. The wish I whispered when it all began, did it forge a love you might never have found? You flee, my dream come the morning. Your scent, berries tart, lilac sweet. To dream of raven locks and twisted, stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Welcome back. So let's go ahead and dive back in. So picking up where we left off, our group of adventurers had spent a little bit of time within the tavern, getting to know Uma, the Uma Farsong, the gleeman that was in there, and also getting to know Tusi, the owner of said establishment. After some interactions with the two of them, some more melancholy, some more lighthearted, eventually they did begin to hear the Song of the Forge begin to play. So, with that, let's go ahead and dive in. So as all of you exit out into the sort of main thoroughfare that heads upward, you can see already the Forge Master awaits. And so with that, all of you make your way up the staircase to this northernmost portion of the map, heading to the Eidolon's Crucible. So, the intensity of the light, as I said, is fading and growing back and forth constantly as you make your way up the steps. So, what I want to ask is for each of you, as you're approaching this place, what is your character? Is there something that they're thinking about right now? Is there something that they're remembering right now? And I'm just kind of curious what that thing is. Let me go to the list here. So as Bianca is approaching Felicity, what is she thinking about as she's approaching the this Forge of Souls?
She actually is thinking about the fight, the last battle with Isin, and thinking about just kind of replaying some of those memories in her head, and probably especially the moment when she decided to go into the tower by herself and leave her friends, and now it feels like she's kind of giving back the power back to her friends in a way to, you know, kind of resolve that moment a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. What's Carasilla thinking about as she's approaching?
Yeah, I think a good portion of it is just thinking, I guess, about the thing itself, you know? The kind of, I suppose, beautiful thing that, like, all these souls get to still be here and present in a way. But they're still very much a part of the city, even though they've obviously moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And just the kind of beautiful sadness to that. But I think also, since she does have, I guess, purpose here, she would, on part of the way, kind of rest her hand on the dagger and just softly to it. I do hope you trust me on this. Promise you, I only want what is best.
If it brings about the destruction of the Creator, then fine.
Yeah, the response, it's very much, obviously, the thing that she wants it to be against, that vengeance, and she'll just kind of bow her head. And I guess just that sadness that obviously the soul's been afflicted in the way it has.
All right. Very good. Ajax?
I think there's a couple things running through his mind. One, just the scale of everything and like the honor presented before him with the forging of whatever weapon this is going to be. And like taking it all in, and as he's walking up, almost like a rekindling of purpose. That he's been given this honor to get this weapon. He can use this weapon to protect his friends. And this is probably one of the highest honors he's had. And he's had quite a bit, but this is, for Ajax, who's a warrior, who's a fighter, this is one of the highest honors you can get. And also, funnily thinking about his friend Dulric, who created his jaded greatsword. And just kind of thinking to himself that he would think this place was amazing. Yeah. And also just, kind of realizing that he has all of these people behind him and walking up here with him. He's feeling pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good. And then finally, Cecily.
She's thinking about how this place reminds her a bit of what a garden is like. Sort of seeds that have been left by things that long ago died and are getting passed back into the ground so that they can make something new. And she'll just walk up, kind of thinking about her adoptive mother, Denier, back in her garden, now long gone. Her father, Tyr, in his garden, still there, unsure of where he is or what he's doing. And just wondering about where those two souls are and where they're going to end up in the coming weeks, if anywhere new.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very cool. All of you approach, and by the time you finish these collective thoughts, you eventually reach the top. And you can see an older dwarvish man wearing heavy fur cloaks and winter clothing. And you can see he wears these thick leathered gloves with a leather apron that has these plates of steel sewn into it. And you can see at his side rests a very simple hammer, one that is typical of a forge that you would see in Summer's Rest or Periton or Belka or Bella Clara. You can see in front of him sits an anvil, a little larger than most you've ever seen, but there's no arcane runes, there's no magic about it. It just seems like an anvil. A dwarf in winter's clothes with a normal hammer and a normal anvil. It seems as though most of the magic comes from the souls around him. As all of you assume this to be Douge Coldhammer. I'll go ahead and share that name in here. The Forge Master of the Eidolon's Crucible. He looks to all of you and speaks.
So, all of you are those sent by the king, is it?
Yes.
Very good. And which of you is learning the ways of the dwarves of the Caledarian?
Ajax bows and says, I am.
Very good. Come over here.
Walks over.
Take this.
And he hands you the hammer.
He holds it.
All right. You're halfway there. Congratulations. And then, as I understand it, there was one more of you that had an issue. Had something that I was supposed to look at.
Yes, less so forging, but dealing with a pre-existing weapon.
I will say the The forge, it's best to work on all these things at once, so I'll take the dagger if you have it. Add it to the pile.
No, she'll kind of take it out. I'd rather keep it on me.
Oh. Cursed then, is it?
And you see him kind of furrow his brow. Think for a moment. So I'm trying to remember something. Nope. That's not what I wanted. Sorry.
Okay.
Wanted to double check something. Here we go.
All right, well, I think it's important for you to know that it's not up to me to not hit your hand, it's up to him. So, remember that.
I trust he won't hurt me. She'll give a very honest look to Ajax.
Ajax breathes in slowly and breathes out slowly.
Steady breathing. 3/4 of the way there. Good on you. All right, the rest of you. It's hard to explain to those that aren't used to it. But know that when it comes to this forge, it's not about the materials you add. It's not about the minerals or magical power that you put forth into it. It's about the feeling you have, the connection you share. The stronger that is, the stronger the item. That's why our magical weapons and armor are so powerful. It's because of the love we share for our ancestors, for our family. Stand close, and keep in mind what you love so much about each other. And I'm sure the forge will reflect it.
Alrighty. So, I'm assuming all of you just kind of form a circle around the anvil. Aside from Carasilla, who needs to stand by it, and Ajax, you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever pieces you have to add to the forge, lay them down on the anvil.
And Bianca, so for the soul, she'll like bring it out. How do you lay down? How?
Oh, nasty bit of work that is. Hold the lantern up.
She does.
And you can see that he gestures his hand towards it and sort of like reaches his glove into the lantern, like not physically, but sort of like this magic where the universe just kind of bends around his hand as he reaches into the lantern and pulls it out. And you can see the soul is chaotic and tearing and ripping. As he sets it on the anvil, you can see the soul calms. And what was black and red just ripping and tearing becomes this sort of like roiling ball of blue and red, just sort of swirling elements next to each other as it softly rests on the anvil.
Aye, that is a nasty bit of work. But it'll all be set straight now. No need to worry yourself any longer of it.
Good.
What else?
What was it? Vondor?
Vondor.
I gave him the hilt. What was left of the blade.
You did. Okay. Yeah, the hilt and then the tip of the sword, the lightest of the jade part. Yeah. You can see the Dershi.
Oh, forgot Vondor gave this to me earlier. One broken hilt and one broken sword tip. So I take it the sword was yours, and my best guess is the dagger is yours.
Looking at you, Carasilla.
Yeah. I mean, she still have the thing. So.
Yeah.
Tell me. Is it Ajax, right?
Yes.
What do you want this weapon for?
Protect my friends. Protect the ones I love. To fight for everything that is right in this world.
And you, Carasilla? What do you wish to achieve with that dagger?
I want the soul that inhabits it to be cleansed. The dark of the vengeance that has befallen it. That it may move on even after the tragedy that has befallen it.
Very well. Remember those things. Think of them as the process begins. For you, young man,
looking to you, Ajax.
the process is very simple. You have to find your rhythm, and the ancestors will follow. The magic here is strong because a well of souls exists behind you. But even the weakest Forge Master of Caledarian can achieve this wherever they go, even without the wells behind them. Because it's about the connection you share to the place or the people, not the materials you forge with. So as you forge, as you strike the hammer, find your rhythm. Have your breathing match the rhythm. And focus on the thing it is that you seek. And don't stop until you feel it's done. You'll know what I mean. Is that clear enough?
Yes. Yes, it is.
All right. Well then, the rest of you stand close. Keep that love at the forefront.
So with that, Ajax, you can see he steps away just outside of the circle and outside of the Eidolon. He's still standing within probably 20 feet, but he's stepping away to let you do this. So,
Special music.
Ajax, what do you do?
He looks down at the materials on the anvil, looks back up to all of everybody, all of his friends circling the anvil, and looks back down. And just strikes down with the hammer.
Mm-hmm. As you do, all of you can see, looking at Ajax, that this isn't something that's just he is experiencing. As all of you look upon Ajax, all of you can see that with the first hammer strike, very shortly after, there's 7 or 8 hammer strikes that fall after. Doom, 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 doom. And Ajax, as you go for the second one, doom, doom, you begin to find that rhythm. And as you begin to slam the hammer down, eventually there's no more overlap. There's no more separation. All of the hammer falls fall at the same time. This resounding gong that eventually begins to envelop the entire city as hundreds of hammers fall at the same time. And Ajax, you begin to hear the hammers and anvils in the city themselves begin to follow the same rhythm that you hit. Now it's not just the spirits, but the living as well that forge with you. And you're not slamming onto an item, you're slamming onto the anvil. But as you do, you can see there is this sort of swirling of magic and light around these items. The tip of the sword, the hilt, the soul itself, and even around the dagger that Carasilla currently holds in her hand. All of these things swirling together until there is just this amorphous blob of raw magic that exists there as you continue to hammer, falling, crashing, this loud resounding noise filling this entire city. As all of you look upon Ajax, you can see not just the hammers falling with his, but you can also see the souls of so many different dwarves gathering around all of you, looking upon what you're doing. And Ajax, as you do, you begin to fall into that rhythm and you begin to fall out of focus. You begin to stop thinking about the rhythm, you begin to just feel it. You're no longer thinking about the rhythm and keeping that rhythm, you just are. And you start to envision other things. You start to see on the very edge of your vision as you look up towards the Eidolon, you think what is a sun almost, this sort of blazing luminescence. What looks to be miles away from you. But eventually, that blazing luminescence begins to clarify as you begin to see a form begin to grow. As you see this creature begin to move from that light, not a human, creature on 4 legs, this blazing mane of sun, it prowls towards you. And as it opens its mouth with, you would think would be a roar, there is a voice that emanates instead.
Well, Ajax, Dawn Rider.
and you can see this lion begin to approach and prowl closer to the anvil. And you can see one claw outreach and stretch. And you can see it tap on that sort of blazing, or that swirling amount of chaotic magic that was Issen's soul. And you can see as it makes one small scratch, the streaks of blue within that energy begin to crackle white and yellow with this heavenly lightning crackling amongst it.
A gift from the gods of my
Cutting
land.
out. Your voice mod is not doing great. I'm sorry.
I forgot to turn off noise suppression beforehand. That's my bad.
A gift from the gods of my land. You wish to protect your friends, your loved ones, and protect the souls of those that have already been lost. Hopefully this will help in that. You have my blessing, Ajax. Use it wisely.
And you can see the lion of Paylor, Leos, begin to slowly return back into that blazing sphere of energy. As the hammer continues to fall again and again and again, till eventually, Ajax, you feel the process begin to end. As eventually the hammer falls slower and slower and slower, till eventually there is a resounding end to the falling of hammers. And on the forge, on the anvil, for a brief moment, there is no energy. There's nothing there. Until slowly, as if fading into reality, you see three things. Well, sorry, four things appear. For one, we will start with we will start with the daggers. Caracilla, you recognize yeah. Did this? Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Wait. Here we go. So you see two daggers, Caracilla. You see one that's very similar to the one that you were holding in your hand, but is changed now. It looks to be forged from two different materials. Half of the blade looks to be this sort of blue enameled steel, and the other half looks to be made of this like almost foggy, like translucent glass. This is the dagger, as now called the Resolution. It still has the same feature, truth, that you had known before, but it's no longer truth and valor. Valor is its own ability now. The spirit within the dagger has found peace, and you can now use the dagger to bolster your own allies. The dagger now has charges, 5 charges. It regains a d4 plus 1 every long rest. And you may choose to expend 1 charge of the item and throw the dagger at an ally and heal them for the total damage rolled. Yeah. People will never make fun of you for not having healing word ever again.
It's like Anna shooting you with syringes.
Yeah.
But it's a dagger.
That is literally what I was gonna type, and then Gemma beat me, and then you beat me. Anyway,
I'm not gonna lie.
didn't see
I
Joe's
wasn't.
message.
I wasn't thinking of Anna in the moment, but yeah, that's pretty close. The other one.
Die, let me chuck a dagger at you. Anyway, sorry.
The other one, Carasilla, is definitely not as peaceful as the dagger now known as Resolution. You can see this dagger seems to be made with all of the anger and malice that was left over in Issen, the thing that wasn't purified by Leos. As you see the Hellfire Dagger. So, this is a +1 magic item. It has 2 features. One feature is called Hell's Fury. When this dagger hits a creature, emanating from the dagger, there is an explosion of hellfire. In a 15-foot radius around the dagger, all creatures must make your spell save DC, dexterity saving throw, or take 3d6 fire damage. Any effects that prevent damage due to ice are melted away. Maybe that'll be relevant one day. This one, I really like. It's even better than the damage. It's called Devil's Grip. When this dagger hits an object that is not attached to a creature, you may pull yourself to the dagger. The range is the maximum range of the dagger's throw.
That's sick as fuck.
Grappling.
Grappling hook.
that's incredible.
Grappling hook with no hook or grappling. Hell yeah.
We're just gonna compare it to Overwatch.
Yeah. That's all everything is now. All right. Perfect. I can guarantee you, I made the Hellfire Dagger before we even started playing Overwatch. That's how long I've had this item in the bank. Anyway. So next up, yeah, thanks. I know what I believe you means.
It means I believe you.
You
I'm
don't
not doing a voice joke.
No. No, you don't remember that? Wasn't that with you guys where it was like when we were in college, like if you say I believe you to somebody, that's like that's pretty much saying I don't believe you because I believe you doesn't sound authentic.
Yes.
Well, that's part of the joke. More so what it was is you say it to things that you normally wouldn't say it to add an awkward layer of suspicion to the interaction. So if somebody started a story with like, yeah, I just had lunch a couple hours ago, you'd be like, I believe you. You know, like as if they would ever. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
All right, now come to our 2 big boys, the other 2 items on the anvil.
Nice.
Resting on the anvil, there is one large rounded shield and an even larger great spear, about the size of a lance. So the shield is called the Aegis of Leos. While wielding this golden bastion, you gain +1 to your AC. The bonus is in addition to the shield's normal bonus to AC. Additionally, the shield has 3 charges that it regains 1d3 every dawn. If you're holding the shield and push a creature away within your reach at least 5 feet, you can expend 1 charge to push that creature an additional 10 feet away, knock it prone, or both. That's the shield. Then...
Shield bash people.
Yeah. Then... Oh, God, okay. Then we have Heaven's Breath Spear. A legendary lance. A weapon forged from the remnants of a broken blade, a demon's soul, and the blessing of a divine creature. So for 1, it's a +2 magic item. The weapon has holy infusion. The magic of Leos and the divinity, magic of Leos's divinity courses through the spear. Each attack with the spear does an extra 3d6 radiant damage. Black Blade's protection. The demonic nature of Issen's soul is not all the way cleansed, but its resilience has been modified to aid the wielder. You have gained resistance to necrotic damage when attuned to this item. Balefire Strike. The tip of the Great Spear was forged from the broken blade of Ajax Dawnrider's broken blade. The magic of the blade has been focused to the tip of the spear. Attacks made against Shadow Spawn, the horrifying creatures of the Dark One, are made with advantage. In addition, whenever you land a strike against a Dark Friend, Shadow Spawn, or Forsaken, you may expend one of two charges to cast Balefire. You replenish all charges every dawn. There's one more thing.
Oh shit, there's one more thing.
It's called Leos Lightning Strike.
What the fuck? What does that do?
Well, I'm about to tell you, buddy. Once per dawn, you can channel the divine energy of Leos into the spear and deal incredible damage. When you activate this ability as an action, so not as an attack in the attack action, but as your full action, you elevate 15 feet into the air, holy lightning clinging around you. You then slam down anywhere within 10 feet of where you activated the ability, and holy bolts of lightning crash on all enemies within a 30-foot cone. Each targeted creature must make a DC 17 con save or take 4d6 lightning and 4d6 radiant damage, or half as much on a successful saving throw. Evil-aligned creatures make this saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh my god.
Do you know in Elden Ring, Ancient Dragons Lightning whatever? That's
Yeah.
that's what that is. Yeah.
Dude. Gemma Winton.
So, these all should be in D&D Beyond, so you should be able to add Resolution, the Hellfire Dagger, the Aegis of Leos, and Heaven's Breath Spear to your inventory now.
How do dude? Hold on.
I'll take the Forge Hammer. What does that do?
Plus one bomb.
Aegis of Leo, and then something spear.
Heaven's Breath.
Heaven's breath. Oh my god, dude. People about to die real quick.
You know that moment in a video game where there's a suspicious amount of health potions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Prize.
The thoughts
We're
there.
going to Maester, baby. Yeah.
So, do I take fall damage using that lightning thing?
no, sorry. Maybe I should have made it 9 feet in the air.
Well, I'm just wondering, could I do it off the top of a castle and still not take any fall damage because it's part of an ability? I'm not going to do that.
And you know what?
You
Honestly,
should.
you said it. It sounds cool. Sure, you don't take any fall damage from using the ability.
If you time it right.
Yeah, if you time it right, like right before you get to the ground, you do like the Mario double jump.
I'll be right back. Jump on the castle. Dude, I'm gonna fucking burst into combat like Thor in the fucking Avengers movie when he comes in and throws his axe and kills everything. Oh my god.
Man, all those Dream On memes with Kratos?
Yeah, that's gonna be me, dude. Oh my god, look at the picture. Can I open this?
I still want to do a Bigsby's hand ploy with Ajax at some point where I just deliver him to the enemies. And you pop off.
Oh my gosh,
It's
this
even-
text is so long.
I didn't mean to press that. We need to work on that because if you can throw me and then mid-air, I'm just like lightning strike. And toss me.
I can't find a good GIF of it. I was gonna try and find the actual spell from Elden Ring, but there's only a YouTube video, but that's fine. Anyway, so there you go. As you finish up the process, you can see the light of the Eidolon's Forge begin to fade as something comparable to nightfall washes across the city. As Durge walks back up to all of you and says,
Well, see, there you go. Not very hard, you did it after all. unnatural, I might say.
Thank you.
Now, as I understand it, there's something else all of you need assistance with in terms of soul singing. Is that true?
Yeah, there is.
I don't think we've quite come to a conclusion on that, unfortunately.
Aye, well. I'm not trying to rush you at all. But as I'm sure you're very well aware, there are people that need your help. Oh, almost forgot one thing. The two of you, over here. One last thing you need to know.
As he gestures to Carasilla and Ajax, now holding your weapons.
All right.
Hold out your weapons.
Do so.
And you can see he sort of raises up his hand, and there is a very dull teal glow from his hand as he waves them over, as he says a few words. Blessing of a sort.
May these weapons strike true. May it be wielded with wisdom. And may they be put down when the job is done.
And he continues and says,
The last time we made weapons for outsiders, they were used for destruction. They were used to fight against each other, and no progress was made. I have no problems with Lao Fei. But when the fighting was done, as I understand it, she abandoned the axe. I'm happy now it lies in good hands, but Thor still wields Mjolnir. And my genuine hope is that all of you can see what destruction these weapons bring. And my hope is that when the fighting is done, you put them down. You focus on rebuilding. Learning to use a hoe to till earth, as opposed to a spear or a dagger to hurt those who challenge you.
I promise.
I promise, absolutely.
We will not let these gifts be used for destruction.
you can
The
see he
cycle
nods.
ends here.
He nods.
I'm glad to hear it. Well, whenever you've made your decision about the soul singing, come find me here. I'm the one who will conduct the ritual, but all of you must make the offerings. Be prepared for that.
And with that, he will turn back around and continue to worship at the Eidolon. But if there's nothing else, all of you can go back to either the keep or to the tavern to discuss further about what you want to do.
I mean, before they do leave, Carousel will just give Ajax a little hug. Thanks for your help.
No, thank you.
But we were traveling all day as well, so
I'm still a little beat up from the fight with Thor.
yes, I can imagine. I think some rest would do us all good.
Yes. He's gonna look at his 2 weapons, and you all just see like Ajax ponder for way too long, and then kind of break out of it. I need to find a way to store these. They didn't come with sheaths.
A little strap of leather would do you right.
Yes, I don't have one. Let's go find one. No. Were you trying to talk, Felicity?
Yeah, she just was gonna say, I'm sure we can find something here for you.
Okay. Go. Alrighty. Easy enough. You're able to find a couple of straps of leather. One for the shield, another one specifically to hold and carry the great spear, so that way you don't always have to hold it within your hand. Just sort of sling around your shoulder, and then for the shield to be able to, it almost has a clasp, so you can kind of put the strap over your over your chest diagonally, almost like a messenger bag, but the shield on your back, and then easily able to sling the spear around your shoulder. So you have both things there, and with the shield, it has like a small clasp, so you can just kind of break it away and grab it, as opposed to having to like
Yeah.
So with that, all of you then head back to the keep, back to where Balder is and the king.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty.
Just to say,
Yeah.
Carousel was curious about talking to Boulder as well when they do get there.
Sure. So as you head back to the keep, you can see that there is still a bit of livelihood within this place. It is not as nearly as wild or as untamed as some of the other places that you have been before. But still there is a warmth to the interiors. And as you make it back to the keep, you can see that you're greeted by Vondor and taken back to your rooms. And you can see in the common area that is closest to your room, you can see Balder sitting, reading a book, enjoying some, looks to be a small hot drink as he's snacking on, looks to be some type of like baked biscuit of some kind. So all of you return. So Carousel, if you'd like to talk to him, you can talk to him there.
Yeah. She'll just, I guess, take a seat across from him, whatever, instead of returning to our room.
Well, hello. I hope your travels went well out there. I saw the foraging from here. It's impressive work.
Suppose something like that is noticeable for quite the distance.
That it is. But glad everything went well.
Yes. Surprised you didn't want to venture out in the city, although I suppose you've been here before.
I have, and on top of that, you all are new outsiders here. I'm a rather old outsider. They know my face, so I prefer to stay here. Don't look too
Worried
kindly.
about what they would know your face for then.
Well, not necessarily mine, but my brother's.
Can understand that. Still a beautiful place, though.
Oh, undoubtedly. It's a tragedy the dwarves have barred travel, but I understand why. In fact, I
Yes.
have a meeting with Borelli sometime later this evening to discuss, well, provided things are cooled down between you all and Odin, hopefully finding some middle ground where a fair relationship can begin again in the short time that this kingdom still lives.
Oh, that does make me happy to hear. Absolutely, I actually wanted to just come over, I suppose, to check on how you've been thinking about everything. Obviously, you're wanting to make judgments of all our characters,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been with us for a little bit now, and so, well, I suppose if we can get any early marks, if there's any concerns that you have. Because I mean it when I say that I want this to work. I want there to be peace between us and the Odinsons.
Of course. I mean, right off the bat, if I might say, I feel very good about all of you. I understand that many of you do not care for me a great deal, and I don't blame you. There's not really a good reason for you to. But what I must say is I'm rather impressed. I knew that you weren't that bad, but Father wouldn't believe me because I wasn't the one who interacted with you primarily. It was Thor, it was Magni and Modi, and look what happened to two of the three of them. But I will say that at least according to me, I definitely feel very good about our relationship.
Glad to hear it. I feel, obviously, it's not going to be perfect. I think, naturally, Cecily especially has a lot of thoughts to the whole situation, and I cannot blame her for having any of them.
No, I can't either. I think that all of us have been subject to Odin's cruelties. So, it's not something I blame her for. Best thing I can
Good
think to
thing that
do
you-
is to be patient. Hope she changes her mind one day.
I hope so too, but are you meaning to include yourself among that number? People that have been done wrong by Odin? I don't mean to pry, of course, but
Who hasn't, honestly? So yes, I do intend to include myself in that group.
see.
But he still is my father. I still respect
Yes.
him.
And that's why I hope that you will be successful in persuading him to, well, not want to see all of us dead. I hope your words and all this would be enough for that. Truly do.
I hope so too. All of you seem to be very good people. And I'd like not for anything to happen to you. Honestly.
Likewise. And I suppose as another note, I don't know how close beyond just familial ties you were with Magnia Modi, but I still think it's worth extending an apology for what happened. I wish the fates were different. I truly do.
I think Magni and Modi, I think they wish too much to be like their father. I was their uncle, yes. And I loved them as family, as you're supposed to. But I don't miss them. Especially don't miss them around the halls of Fjardeleth. I'm not going to say you did me a favor, because it's caused me a lot more harm than joy. But I'm not mad at you. Not at all.
Right. I suppose it's, well, evident after today that you don't hold too much love for Thor. But family's still family. People still people. It's tragedy regardless of who they were.
Yes. I suppose you're right.
Read on him right now because I felt like a weird answer. I get your reaction as well.
Yeah. Make an insight check.
Oh my god, where are my dice? I didn't bring my dice down. Oh no, I'm so unprepared. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna roll through here.
Gemma, you can never comment then on me being unprepared.
It's the one time I rolled poorly, and so this is why. Oh my god, they were right behind my water bottle. So fucking funny. Panicked. Jesus Christ. Okay, but yeah, 15, I guess.
So,
and I don't think that's one that I get a bonus to anything.
nope. So, in your cursory read on him in this conversation, you get the feeling with the information that you have of Balder and how he interacts with his family, that Balder being somebody of peace, of prosperity, of light, of love, the behavior of Thor and Magni and Modi, he finds repulsive. Because they're the opposite. It is hate, malice, and bloodshed. And that's the read that you get. Oh, titty window. Here we go.
Hell yeah. Sorry.
Out of context, not gonna explain it.
It took me a second, but I remember.
Just if you don't know, join the Discord server
context
and
right now.
at Kayla and ask her about the titty window. Yeah, ask her about the titty window.
No context. She'll know it. It'll be
Kayla
great.
Kayla will know what you're talking about.
Applaud the answers. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm gonna get so many messages from Kayla like, what the fuck did you do? Okay.
But as I understand it, there are still, I suppose, more agreeable members of your family still. At least we were able to speak with a couple of them. I suppose it's no secret that Bianca carries a Valkyrie lantern.
Mm-hmm. Well, please don't get confused. There are the Aesir, and then there are the Odinsons. The Odinsons might be Aesir, but not every Aesir is an Odinson. Family is loose among the Aesir. The Vanir were much more close-knit. And the Valkyries, well, there's a reason why Hel is in charge of the Valkyries and not Sigyn, who was supposed to be queen to replace Frigg, who was supposed to be queen, who the queen of the Valkyries was a Vanir woman by the name of Freya. So you have to understand the family is a little dysfunctional.
But that's, well, I suppose in that case, who would be our allies with the Odinsons then? I'm not the most caught up on all the familiar ties, so forgive my ignorance.
No, you're fine. You can't be mad at someone for not knowing what they had no way to know before the conversation, before being taught it. It's just frustrating for me to talk about because of my own personal baggage, I suppose. If I tell Odin what I've discovered, if Odin sees reason in it, and Odin agrees, then everyone else will. It's how things work in our family, in the Aesir. If Odin says it, that's what we do.
So, it's not worth, then, going to other people for Odinsons? Hardly sounds reasonable. I feel, regardless of what Odin's decision, still like to be able to count you as an ally. Even if you might be bound to act otherwise. Still think it's important to know where people lie, regardless of their ties and affiliations.
I think that it's very clear to me what choice I would make in that situation. And I hope it'd be clear to you. After all, I am sticking my neck out to even be here in the first place.
Certainly well appreciated, believe me.
Yes. And I am very appreciative of all of you allowing me to be here. I understand that is... My being here causes some contention in your group. So, I'm happy, at least, that we can find some middle ground, you and I.
Yes. Certainly. It's certainly nice to have someone of your caliber around as well. I think personal thanks are in order for what happened with Thor. I doubt it would have gone that way had we not had you with us.
Oh.
Even if you did have to take on the form of my sister. But, well, I suppose I'm thankful that it's not just Loki that's a shapeshifter.
There's many magics that the Aesir have learned to better fit in with our surroundings. After all, I can't very well going around looking like this all the time. Who knows what would become of me if I did?
Right. Well, again, in any case, I am thankful. And I understand that feelings are certainly mixed within the group. But And also say, I think it is also helpful to not be so separate as well. I think there's something to be said that it helps to judge a person's character when they're around. Sometimes having simple, plain, or even positive memories, associations with someone can overcome any harm and damage that was done before.
It's a very good point, I think. And he'll kind of stand as he closes the book. You know, it reminds me about one of my favorite memories. Thor, actually. As much as I hate that dumb oaf most of the time. There was one Winter's Crest we were celebrating somewhere. Let's just say that Thor got into a situation with somebody else's goat and some mistletoe, and, well, one of the funniest things I've ever seen to date. Please, enjoy the rest of your evening, Carasilla. I'll try and act on what you have said. Sometimes I just feel like I am, understandably, I'm not wanted around. But when we leave this place, I think unless you desire my services any longer, I think I may return to Fjardeleth and report what I know, what I've found, what I've seen. And regardless, I'll be in contact with you.
Well, you're certainly no prisoner here by any means, so you're free to leave or come whenever you wish. But I suppose selfishly, it would be nice, especially after seeing how well you fight, to have your assistance when we're a Maester. Forgive me if it's asking too much, but people could use the help.
Allow me to think on it.
Of course.
And provided, depending on how the next few days go, you may see me there to assist. I think it's rather likely.
Right.
Well, good night, Carasilla.
Yes. Good night.
You can see Balder gets up and he walks away and heads to his room.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there'd be the awkward delay to not, like, walk with him, she goes to her own. But I think just as she's going, she will kind of, like, I suppose, just look to where Boulder's leaving. I guess if it is just to his room, it's not gonna be a big deal. He's not going anywhere or doing anything. But felt like there was something off with the conversation, you know? And so I don't know if it was an abrupt leave, but evidently he wanted to get out. So yeah, just seeing if there's anything she can note as to, I guess, also why. Beyond, I guess, just prying about his family, which she doesn't really like. But yeah, I don't know if he's just going straight to his room, but if he is, then that's fine.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Yeah. In that case, she'll go back to her own. And she... I mean... I feel like it wouldn't be a stretch to say that Carousel would have some basic sewing equipment to be able to place the patch on her cloak. And so she'll just sit up on the bed, and I guess almost like meditatively, yeah. Like a meditation, there we go. We'll just kind of very carefully do that. Probably in a more like prominent part of the cloak, so it's more noticeable. Not to like overlay or outshadow anything else, but you know, in recognition of the circumstances of the patch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Carasilla, there is no doubt that this piece of cloth is magical in some way, shape, or form. Embedded with the soul songs of the people of Caladrian. As you eventually finish sewing the last thread and snip the ends off, you can see almost like a ripple effect in water of this magic reverberate around the cloak. As something changes with the cloak. It doesn't become exalted, I want to stress that, but something small happens to the awakened feature. For one, when adding this extraordinarily magical piece of fabric to the cloak, your 1,000 cuts feature improves from 2 daggers to 3 dagger attacks. And you also gain a feature called Soul Singing. During your songs, due to the patch of the dwarves of the Mazdrum Mountains, you can see the spirits around your music. You can see them dance and be merry if you play happy songs, or sad and respectful if you play sad songs. You can't speak with them or interact with them, but you can see that even in death, the souls that linger in an area can still enjoy the music that you play for them.
Nasty.
Nasty. And your Gleeman cloak hopefully should have just updated. If not, you might have to delete it and re-add it to your character sheet.
Oh, well, I'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't.
Yeah. D&D Beyond's hard trash sometimes.
Well, no, it's fantastic. They should sponsor us.
Sponsor me.
Don't watch this video, D&D Beyond, if you sometime in the future sponsor us.
D&D Beyond did update it, so fantastic service. We love that. It's
D&D
fantastic.
Beyond
Sponsor
is
us, please.
hard amazingness.
Hard amazing.
Straight fire.
Straight fire.
Alrighty. So, with that, as all of you sort of gather in your rooms ready to head to sleep for the night, knowing that in the morning you're going to have to make a decision about what to do with Keothi or Natalia, you know that this is a conversation and an event that it's best for everybody to be present for. So, with that, as all of you head to sleep, thinking of your new weapons and the coming conflicts, known and unknown, that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session.
Woo!
There we go.
Oh my god.
Woo! So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed. I know I did. I have a feeling that this session,
Inside my bones.
this session was important. It was good. I really loved it. It was a little calmer. We got some upgrades. Next session, though. Be there.
Sadness.
That's all I'm gonna say. Be there.
Depression.
Be there.
Trauma.
Be there or be square. This is obviously, as a DM, things happen. And maybe not everything's gonna happen that I think. But if it does, very excited for it. So be sure to tune in next time, which will not be the 27th. That'll be the 3rd of January. So fun fact, starting with the new year, we're coming back hard with everything. 3rd of January, comes Salamander Coast. So this is actually the last session of the year that'll be streamed here on Twitch. So we've got the 3rd of January for the return of Salamander Coast. We got the 7th of January for the return of Isles. And then, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but the 11th of January, Tales of Everin will be streamed live on Twitch.
Oh my God, what a
Yes,
cool
it will.
campaign.
Oh my
Yes.
god. Go
Yes.
watch it.
It'll still be
Now.
uploaded on Thursdays on YouTube. Yeah, watch it now. Rah.
After this one.
After this one, yeah. But yeah, so we have our last session of live stream D&D right now. Thanks for watching. But we will be back strong on the 3rd of January. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Have a happy holidays and a happy new year.